Okay, hello, this is Patty Jo. I'm testing. I am going to go through the last couple of minutes. I got cut off with an important phone call from one of my doctors. So I'm going to finish this up and see if I can correct the sound. Someone notified me that my sound is still messed up. My son would absolutely just
While you're
die.
deliberating, if you want to see
So
those
this is
videos
the
again,
end
you can
of
ask for them
his
by exhibit number. Can't guarantee that you'll be able to see
opening
any
statement.
or all of them, but you can ask. I'm done now. I want to close on one final point, and that is, on behalf of the state of Wisconsin, I want to say thank you. You're serving in what is the greatest criminal justice system in the history of the world, and that's because of the 16 of you. It's because a group of citizens, randomly selected, come in and make the final, ultimate determination between guilty and not guilty. That's unique in this world. It's special. And so, we're going to go through this evidence. We're going to be mindful of your time. We know how valuable it is. We're going to be efficient, but we have a lot to get through.
Yep.
A lot. And at the conclusion of all that evidence, District Attorney Opper is going to stand up here and she's going to ask you to render verdicts consistent with the evidence, to find the defendant guilty of each and every count. Thank you.
Okay, so one of the things, and I'm hoping that the sound is better there. I'm going to test it. I'm going to repeat a couple of the things I said before. Hopefully my sound is coming through. I can take a look at this. How can I do this? My son does all this fancy stuff. Okay, well, according to this, you can hear me, okay? So according to, if I'm reading this correctly, according to this, you can hear me. So going back here. All right, so there's a few things, sorry, excuse me, that I wanted to point out about the opening statement. Some of the things that he could not say because in preliminary hearings, they're not allowed to be evidence because they're too prejudicial against the defendant. One of which is that Erica Patterson, actually, they call her a lot of things. They call her baby mama. They call her domestic partner. They call her girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, all of these things. But really, she was a victim of Darrell Brooks from the very start of when he met her. He was an adult. She was a child. People often will say, why don't you just get out of these abusive situations if that's what it is? She was a minor. She was probably not making the best choices. She probably did not have a lot of family support that could help her do that. And people don't get out of those situations without a lot of support with them. Whether it be piece by piece support, somebody coming by. But if you're a police officer and saying, well, they always go back, you're there for a short amount of time. You're not there to support what's going to happen when you're not there. So those are judgments made without basis, really. And I believe that those people saved her life, that he would have hurt her to the point. It just goes there. And then there's so much survivor guilt, and that goes to some of the victims that survived. And even within the three people in the other situation, which would be Corey and Nick, I believe, and Erica, there's got to be survivor, because, I don't think they should blame themselves because this was all his doing, but I can imagine the weight on someone's heart, and I believe it was Jackson Sparks' brother who said something like that he had survivor's guilt. So those were some of the things I said. I know I got cut off. I know there were some sound issues. I'm going to go forward a little bit, and we'll see if this one, we'll call this part 6A. A or something like that. Because she's going to ask him if he wants to come back into the courtroom, and I think I was going to
Mr.
include
Brooks, my
that.
first question to you is, will you be making an opening statement at this point or deferring until your case? Meaning the defense portion of the case.
I will be deferring at this time, Your Honor. I need a little more adequate time to make sure I go.
He thinks he's doing something there. He thinks that, you know, that the jury is going to feel so bad for him that, oh, I need some time. I didn't have enough time. You know, they don't care.
All right, then the court will honor that request, advise the jury he's deferring his opening statement until a later point in the proceedings.
Okay, so
I am going to just take a
Ooh,
short break
that's
so I can
loud to
talk
me.
some logistics with the parties to determine whether it makes sense to start with a witness tonight yet.
And it
it's
does.
4 o'clock, a little bit after, or wait until tomorrow. So either way, you'll come back because
So the prosecution then asks, they've got 2 witnesses that are time dependent to, you know, that, you know, transportation is an issue, commitments are an issue, and they wanted to get them in this first afternoon. So hopefully that will be the next part, but I have a funny feeling that if I recall correctly, he makes, why is this spinning?
Conducted myself appropriately.
I'm not asking about your past behavior. I'm asking if you're willing from this point forward, for the purposes of the testimony of 2 witnesses, to conduct yourself appropriately.
Okay, so this is where we left off. This is where I got cut off.
I have.
That's not my question. That's not the answer I'm looking for. I'm not asking if you have. I'm asking if you're willing, going forward, to conduct yourself appropriately during the questioning of these 2 witnesses. Yes or no?
I'm going to end up being put back over here.
He can't answer a question. Let me
If I
go
come
see if
over
my
here.
narcissistic.
Mr. Brooks, I'm further advising you, I'm looking for a direct answer of yes or no, and that your failure to give me a yes or no answer will be considered by this court to be non-responsive. So let me ask you the question one more time. Are you willing to conduct yourself appropriately during the questioning of these 2 witnesses?
To be 100% honest, I cannot answer that.
All right, then based on that answer, which is non-responsive to the question that I asked, he has not given me a pledge or indication of a willingness to conduct himself appropriately going forward, and based on that, he'll remain where he is. You will remain unmuted, and so if you have an objection, you can lodge that objection within accordance or according to the rules of.
Okay, this is sense of self-importance on his part. I'm looking at the under narcissistic behaviors. It's a special special me is what it's called. So sense of importance, preoccupation with power, feeling entitled. I think he's got a combination of all of those going on right now. Can only be around people who he feels are important, interpersonally exploitive for his own gain. And we will see that a lot with the people in his life, including his mother, which is arrogant, lack of empathy, must be admired. There's another piece of that going on right here. And envious of others, or belief that they are envious of him.
Of evidence, sir. All right, with that, let's have the jurors brought back in, and we'll start with the taking of testimony.
Okay. Oh, wait, one.
Go ahead.
Oh, they're just putting something up. Okay. All right. I am going to check this and post it, no matter what the quality right now, and see where we are. And I thank you for everybody's patience and all of your help. And we will move on with that first witness with the next part.